For decades, hunters around the world heard the same story. If you wanted refinement and premium craftsmanship, you looked toward Europe. German, Austrian, and Scandinavian rifles built a reputation for precision and beautiful design. But something started changing. While many European makers continued building premium rifles with premium price tags, American hunting rifles moved in a different direction. They became lighter, easier to customize, and more affordable for everyday hunters. And that raises an interesting question. Have American hunting rifles become so effective at large-scale production that some European manufacturers are actually starting to fall behind? Not in craftsmanship, not in prestige, but in building rifles that ordinary hunters can carry into the woods and trust season after season. Because when someone walks into a store and sees a rifle chambered in 30-06, 308, or 6.5 Creedmoor, shooting accurately right out of the box without draining the wallet, the conversation changes very quickly. Today we're looking at 5 rifles that helped create that shift. And if you enjoy hunting rifles, gear reviews, and discussions that can start campfire debates, hit that like button and subscribe to Alpha Gun Review. Now let's get into it. Starting at number 5 is the Weatherby Vanguard, and this rifle represents something interesting in the hunting world. While many European rifles focus heavily on refinement and premium feel, the Vanguard took a more practical route. It wasn't designed to be a luxury rifle. It was designed to be dependable, accurate, and accessible to everyday hunters. The Vanguard uses a bolt-action system with a 2-lug design and features a cold, hammer-forged barrel. Depending on the configuration, barrel lengths typically range from 20 to 24 inches, with overall weight often sitting around 7.5 pounds. It is available in a wide range of calibers, from .223 and .308 to .30-06, and even .375 H&H for larger game. That versatility alone makes it attractive, because a hunter chasing coyotes and a hunter pursuing elk can both find a version that fits their needs. One of the biggest reasons hunters continue to trust this rifle is its factory sub-MOOA accuracy guarantee with quality ammunition. That is a feature that immediately gets attention because many hunters do not want to spend extra money replacing triggers, swapping stocks, or upgrading barrels just to get acceptable performance. Many shooters can take a Vanguard straight from the box, mount a scope, and head to the range with confidence. Now compare that to rifles like the Tikka T3X or Sauer 100. Those rifles may have smoother bolt travel and a more refined feel when cycling the action. Pick one up and you can immediately notice the difference. European manufacturers have always been strong when it comes to polish and precision engineering. But here's where the debate starts. Out in the field, deer do not care how smooth your bolt feels. Elk are not impressed by elegant machining. When temperatures drop and the pressure is on, hunters want a rifle that feeds reliably, shoots accurately, and works every single time they pull the trigger. The Vanguard built its reputation around doing those fundamentals extremely well, and that may be exactly why it earned a place on this list. Now, I want to hear from you. Does the Weatherby Vanguard deserve this number 5 position, or would you replace it with a European rifle in the same category? Let me know in the comments. Coming in at number 4 is the Browning BAR, and this rifle changes the conversation immediately because, unlike the others on this list, we're stepping away from the traditional bolt-action world. The Browning BAR gives hunters something different: semi-automatic speed combined with proven hunting performance. That alone makes it stand out. The modern sporting BAR uses a gas-operated semi-automatic system and typically comes with barrel lengths around 22 to 24 inches, depending on the model. Weight usually falls between 7 and 8.5 pounds, and it feeds from detachable magazines, commonly holding 3 to 4 rounds. Hunters can find it chambered in cartridges like 308 30-06, 243, 7mm Rem mag, and even 338 Win mag for larger game. One of the biggest strengths of the BAR has always been follow-up shots. With a traditional bolt-action rifle, you break your position, cycle the bolt, reacquire the target, and fire again. The BR cuts out that extra movement. For hunters tracking moving hogs or dealing with multiple targets appearing at once, that can become a real advantage. Now compare that to European rifles in a similar hunting category. Rifles like the Merkel RX Helix or even some premium straight-pull rifles can cycle incredibly fast. In fact, some European designs may actually feel smoother and more refined. But many of those rifles come with much higher price tags. The Browning BAR built a reputation around delivering speed without making hunters feel like they needed a luxury budget. And here's something I want to ask you guys. Does a semi-automatic hunting rifle deserve a place over some classic bolt-action rifles? Or would you replace the BAR with something like a Tikka, Blazer, or Sauer? I have a feeling some traditional hunters are already shaking their heads, while others are typing comments right now. Taking the number 3 position is the Remington Model 700. And if you've spent enough time around hunting camps, gun stores, or shooting ranges, you've probably heard this name more times than you can count. Some rifles become popular for a few years and disappear. The Model 700 became something much bigger, a platform that shaped an entire generation of hunting rifles. Introduced in 1962, the Model 700 uses a bolt-action design with a push-feed system and the famous Remington 3 rings of steel arrangement surrounding the cartridge case. That design became one of the major reasons the rifle built a reputation for strength and safety. Depending on the model, barrel lengths usually range from 20 to 26 inches, with weights generally sitting between 7 and 9 pounds. It has also been chambered in a massive range of cartridges, including 223, 308, 30-06, 7mm Rem mag, and 300 Win mag. But numbers and specifications only tell part of the story. The biggest strength of the Model 700 may actually be its adaptability. Hunters, long-range shooters, and gunsmiths have spent decades building around this platform. Stocks, triggers, optics mounts, barrels, and aftermarket upgrades exist almost everywhere. Few hunting rifles ever created have had this level of support. Now compare that to some European rifles in the same category like the Sauer 100 or Tikka T3X. Those rifles often feel smoother right out of the box and may require fewer modifications. European manufacturers traditionally focused on refinement from day one. But the Model 700 followed a different philosophy. Give shooters a strong foundation and let them build exactly what they want. Maybe that's why the rifle went beyond hunting and even found its way into military sniper systems. Now I want your opinion on this one. Does the Remington Model 700 deserve a top 3 position? Or would you put a European rifle ahead of it? This one could divide hunters pretty quickly. Taking the number 2 position is the Ruger American rifle. And this may be where the debate really starts. Because on paper, some people might immediately argue that it does not belong this high on the list. It doesn't carry the prestige of a high-end European rifle. It doesn't have the luxurious feel of a premium German hunting rifle. And it certainly wasn't built to impress people with exotic materials or elegant craftsmanship. But hunting rifles do not earn reputations on paper. They earn reputations in the field. Introduced in 2011, the Ruger American uses a bolt-action system with a 3-lug bolt design that gives it a shorter 70-degree bolt lift. It also features a cold, hammer-forged free-floating barrel and Ruger's adjustable marksman trigger system. Depending on the model, barrel lengths generally range from 16 to 22 inches, while overall weight often falls between 6 and 7.5 pounds, making it one of the lighter rifles in this group. The rifle also comes in an enormous range of chamberings. Hunters can choose everything from .223, .23 and .243 all the way to .30-06, .308, 6.5 Creedmoor, and even .300 Win Mag, depending on the model. But the biggest reason the Ruger American became so successful wasn't a single feature. It was value. That's where this rifle starts creating problems for many European competitors in mass-market hunting. A hunter can walk into a store, buy a Ruger American, mount a scope, sight it in, and walk into the woods without spending premium rifle money. Now compare that to rifles like the Tikka T3X or Sauer 100. Those rifles may offer smoother bolt travel, more refined fit and finish, and a more premium feel in the hands. But they usually cost significantly more. And that creates an uncomfortable question. If a rifle costs much less and still puts accurate rounds on target season after season, how much does refinement actually matter? So let me ask you guys this. Does the Ruger American deserve the number 2 position? Or would you move a European rifle into this spot instead? I think this one could start a serious argument in the comments. Taking the number 1 spot is the Winchester Model 70, and some people may disagree immediately. There are newer rifles with lighter materials, detachable magazines, and more modern features. But some rifles earn their place through decades of proven performance rather than chasing every new trend. The Winchester Model 70 has been doing that for generations. Originally introduced in 1936, the Model 70 uses a bolt-action system and became famous for its controlled round feed design with a Mauser-style claw extractor. That system controls the cartridge from the magazine into the chamber, helping create a reputation for reliable feeding under difficult hunting conditions where hunters cannot afford mistakes. Depending on the model, barrel lengths usually range from 22 to 26 inches, while weight commonly falls between 7 and 8.5 pounds. Hunters can find chamberings such as .240, .3, .270, .30, .06, .308, 6.5 Creedmoor, and .300 Win Mag. The biggest strength of the Model 70 isn't flashy technology, it's trust. Hunters have carried this rifle through mountains, forests, and harsh weather for decades. It earned the nickname the Rifleman's Rifle because people saw it as a dependable tool rather than just another hunting product. Now compare it with rifles like the Sauer 100 or Mauser M18. European rifles may feel smoother and more refined, but the Model 70 built its reputation around rugged dependability and real-world performance. Now I want your opinion. Does the Winchester Model 70 truly deserve the number 1 position? Or would you put another rifle, maybe even a European one, at the top? Let me know in the comments. So there you have it. 5 rifles that helped shape today's hunting market and changed the conversation in a big way. This doesn't mean European rifles suddenly became bad. Far from it. European manufacturers still build outstanding rifles with excellent craftsmanship and refinement. But maybe the real question was never about who builds the better rifle. Maybe it's about who builds the rifle most hunters actually need. Because at the end of the day, hunters care about reliability in cold weather, long hikes, and those moments where one shot matters most. Now, I want to hear from you guys. Do you think American hunting rifles are pulling ahead in large-scale production and real-world value? Or do European rifles still own the quality crown? Drop your top 5 list in the comments. I already know some of you will completely disagree with this ranking. And that's exactly what makes these discussions interesting. If you enjoyed the video, hit like, subscribe to Alpha Gun Review, and I'll see you in the next one.